Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Partners for Rural Impact was recently awarded 2 new grants for Letcher County. Today, school and community leaders along with staff from Partners for Rural Impact gathered together to discuss their goals for the future of students in Letcher County. Associate VP for PRI Appalachia, Eamon Couch, says it was special to see the community come together.
Faith, civic, business, education, higher ed, all of that together, because we believe that for kids to be successful, it's more than just what the schools can do. It truly takes everyone coming together to make that happen.
The 2 new grants that PRI received for Letcher County are a full-service community schools grant and a neighborhood promise grant. WYMT's Olivia Calfee will have more about this tonight at 6. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and many child advocacy groups are using this time to share the importance of identifying the signs of abuse in children. Staff members with Judy's Place for Kids in Pikeville say when schools dismiss for summer break, children are often losing a line of defense when it comes to adults seeing and reporting abuse. So it is up to church leaders, coaches, and even other parents to be vigilant when it comes to spotting abuse.
So I think it's just overall just important for us to recognize in our community that, you know, as good as every community can be, there's always work to be done, and it takes the entire community to come together to do that.
Some of the signs of abuse in kids depend on their age, but more common signs could be a change in attitude or unexplained bruising. We'll have more about this tonight at 6. There is some construction work planned for Interstate 75 in Whitley County beginning tomorrow morning. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says the work will happen in the southbound lanes at mile point 24.6. That's on the south side of Corbin. They're asking drivers to pay close attention when passing through there beginning tomorrow morning at 7. The work is scheduled to end at 5 o'clock if the weather permits.
Well, milder than yesterday, but some of that filtered sunshine still keeping us a little bit cooler than average out there this afternoon. Here's the view from our studios here in Hazard into the low 60s right now with that filtered sunshine again working on through. A little bit more in the way of blue sky as we look from our camera at Buffalo Mountain in southern Perry County. Low to mid 60s region wide. It remains a rather comfortable day, if a little on the cool side. We should be about 71 for daytime highs this time of year. Your forecast first through the next 12 hours. Well, we're dropping from the 60s into the 50s late this evening, and we're back in the 40s tonight. As a matter of fact, some of us back under that frost advisory as we head through the overnight and into the morning hours. That's much of the Kentucky River Valley and into the Big Sandy, again running until 9 o'clock. Not everybody sees it, but could get frosty, especially in the valley locations into tonight. Steve, I'll have the latest on a slow warm-up and when those showers try to return in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. The likely Democratic nominee for the White House made it official. President Biden is running for re-election. CBS's Nicole D'Antonio has more from the White House.
Let's finish this job. I know we can.
President Biden made his re-election bid official in a video released this morning. He says he ran 4 years ago because there was a battle for the soul of the nation, a battle that he says is ongoing.
This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election.
Ahead of the re-election announcement, a CBS News poll found Democrats were accepting of his re-election bid, with just 22% saying they were excited, with the #1 concern among voters being his age. The timing of the announcement is no coincidence. It's 4 years to the day since President Biden first announced his White House bid, but it wasn't the only factor in announcing right now.
The other sort of consideration is you want to get ahead of what might be coming from the other side. I mean, there's more and more Republicans that are starting to get into the race.
Former President Trump is already in the race, setting up a potential rematch of the 2020 election.
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis would not say when or if he will run, but he did make trips to early battleground states during a book signing tour. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
At least one other Democrat has announced his candidacy to run against President Biden. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. launched his bid for the Democratic nomination last week. Lawyers for Prince Harry are in a court battle against Britain's tabloid press. This time they are taking on Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers over allegations of phone hacking. Harry, the younger son of King Charles, started action against NGN, publisher of the Sun tabloid and now defunct News of the World, in September 2019. That was not long before he and his wife Meghan stepped down from royal duties and moved to California. NGN has paid out millions of pounds to settle hundreds of phone hacking cases. The case is one of 4 Harry is pursuing at the High Court in London against British newspapers that he accuses of using illegal means to invade his or his wife's privacy or simply lying about them. Sudanese and foreigners are streaming out of the capital of Khartoum and other battle zones as fighting shakes a new 3-day truce brokered by the United States and Saudi Arabia. So far, a series of short ceasefires have either failed outright or brought only brief lulls in the fighting that has raged between the forces of the country's top 2 generals since April 15th. The lulls have been enough for the evacuations of hundreds of foreigners by air and land. More than 420 people, including 264 civilians, have been killed and more than 373,000 have been wounded in the fighting. Peruvian archaeologists have discovered a mummy believed to be more than 1,000 years old, with some of its skin and hair still intact. The mummy was found at an archaeological complex near Lima's outskirts. The body is believed to be that of an adolescent. Archaeologists are still uncovering new finds at the site of the dig. In January, 8 children and 12 adults that were believed to have been killed in a ritual sacrifice were unearthed. From ceramic objects found near the body, archaeologists estimate the mummy is between 1,100 to 1,200 years old and could belong to the Lima or Ichma civilizations.